Take it slow today, nothing really has to move too fast. Morning light is filling up the little coffee shop at last. People talking quietly like music somewhere in the room. Everything feels softer in this lazy afternoon. Tiny sounds and little laughs drifting slowly through the air. Maybe all the heavy thoughts don't really matter here. I can finally breathe again without thinking too ahead. Take it slow today, let the quiet lead the way. Nothing special, nothing new, still it feels enough somehow. Take it slow today, let the moment stay. Like a song you almost miss, but suddenly don't wanna skip.
Same coffee, same place, sitting by the window every day. People come and go outside while quiet music softly plays. Nothing really different, but today feels lighter somehow. Maybe I've been thinking way too hard until right now. Little conversations floating slowly through the air. Someone laughing quietly from the table over there. Maybe I don't need to know where every little moment goes. Same coffee, same place, still the feeling slowly changes. Every ordinary day has a color of its own. Same coffee, same place, watching sunlight slowly fade. Everything feels calm enough, like I finally made it home. Cars reflecting evening light across the street outside the door. Tiny sounds and passing footsteps feel familiar more and more. Nothing really happens here, but maybe that's the reason why people keep on coming back to let a little time go by. Maybe slowing down a little isn't falling behind. Maybe all the smallest moments are the ones we always miss. Same coffee, same place, still the feeling slowly changes. Every ordinary day has a color of its own. Same coffee, same place, watching sunlight slowly fade. Everything feels calm enough, like I finally made it home.
Nothing much going on today. I'm just walking with a coffee in my hand. People rushing somewhere else while I'm moving without any plans. Music from a little store mixes with the city sound. Funny how the smallest things can calm your thoughts back down. Clouds moving slowly over buildings painted by the afternoon. Everything feels softer when the day is ending soon. Maybe I was thinking too much. Maybe slowing down is enough. Nothing much going on, still the feeling lingers on. Tiny moments passing by, like a quiet state of mind. Nothing much going on, but somehow it feels warm, like a song that stays around even when the day winds down. Reflecting through the night. Every little passing sound feels a little distant now. No dramatic kind of day, nothing special on the way. Still I kinda like it here, with the quiet atmosphere. Maybe every ordinary scene holds holds a little more than what it seems. Nothing much going on, still the feeling lingers on. Tiny moments passing by, like a quiet state of mind. Nothing much going on, but somehow it feels warm, like a song that stays around, even when the day winds down.
Running through another week without noticing the time. Always thinking way too much with too many things in mind. Today I'm leaving all of that somewhere far behind. Trying not to rush ahead for once in my life. Every little sound around me feels slower than before, like the day is moving gently without asking anymore. Maybe I don't need a reason to slow everything down. Let the day pass by without worrying tonight. Every moment comes and goes, like a song you almost know. Let the day pass by, everything will be alright. Nothing waiting up ahead that I need to chase right now. People moving quietly under fading evening lights. Cars are passing in the distance, blending softly with the night. No dramatic kind of feeling, no big changes in my mind. Still I think I needed something calm like this tonight. Sometimes all we really need is a little room to breathe. Let the day pass by without worrying tonight. Every moment comes and goes, like a song you almost know. Let the day pass by, everything will be alright.
Didn't even check the time before I left the house today. Walked a little slower than I usually do these days. Someone dropped a coin nearby and left before they walked away. Funny how small moments stay inside your head sometimes. Nothing really different, and I think that's why it's nice. Nobody expecting anything from me for a while. Maybe I can let the day go wherever it goes. No plans today, and I kinda like it that way. Nothing waiting up ahead, nothing spinning in my head. No plans today, just letting hours fade. Every little passing sound feels calmer somehow. People talking quietly while the door keeps opening and closing. Every little ordinary scene keeps the afternoon moving. Didn't think I'd notice things I usually ignore. Maybe slowing down a little helps me see them more. Sometimes days don't need a meaning to feel good enough. No plans today, and I kinda like it that way. Nothing waiting up ahead, nothing spinning in my head. Take your time, there's no reason to hurry through another day. Someone left the window open and the breeze just stayed that way. Nothing really changed outside, but everything feels slow somehow. Guess I never Every little ordinary thing feels softer when you stop. Maybe that's enough for now. Maybe that's enough. Take your time. Let the day move on its own. Nothing waiting somewhere else. Nothing calling on the phone. Take your time. Everything can wait a while. Even quiet little days can turn into something nice. Didn't plan on going far, just walked around a couple blocks. Heard a song from somewhere distant, mixed together with the traffic. Someone smiling as they passed. Little moments never last, still they stay a little longer than you think they would. Sometimes slowing down a little changes how the day feels. Take your time. Let the day move on its own. Nothing waiting somewhere else. Nothing calling on the phone. Past the same corner twice without really meaning to. Someone dropped their bag nearby and laughed it off like people do. Traffic moving slowly while the air starts getting cool. Nothing special happening, but I don't mind it after all. Didn't check my phone for once, just kept walking at my pace. Sometimes quiet days like this stay longer than you think. On the way home, everything feels slow. People passing by, windows starting to glow. On the way home, nothing left to rush, just the sound of moving steps and conversations mixing up. Someone playing music low from somewhere down the block. Couple sitting by the road talking while the buses stop. Every ordinary moment blending softly into one, like the day is slowly ending without trying too much. Maybe days don't need a reason to feel good enough sometimes. On the way home, everything feels slow. People passing by, windows starting to glow.
Didn't realize how quiet it got after everyone had left. Chairs still pushed back slightly like conversations hadn't ended yet. Someone folded up a newspaper and left it by the door. Little things like that stay around longer than before. Walked a little slower, heading back the usual way. Nothing really different, but it felt nice anyway. Some days don't ask too much, and maybe that's enough. Still around like a sound that doesn't leave. Small moments passing through, more than they first seem. Still around even after days move on. Certain feelings stay without holding on too long. Lights turning on one by one across the other side of town. People finishing conversations while the evening settles down. Every ordinary moment blending quietly together, like the day was trying not to end too fast.
Didn't even notice how the afternoon was gone. changing places while the day kept moving on. Someone closed the door softly somewhere out of sight. Little sounds keep fading slowly into quieter nights. Nothing waiting for me now, nothing I need to chase. Just walking a little slower, trying not to think ahead. Every ordinary moment feels softer than before. Like I've seen the same street many times, but never quite like this before. Maybe days can feel this simple when you let them pass, without trying to hold on to every second that won't last. Nothing to hurry, nothing to rush. Every little moment feels quiet enough. Nothing to hurry, let the hours move. Like the air gets lighter every time I do. Nothing to hurry, nothing left to prove. Sometimes slowing down a little changes how the day moves. Streetlights turning on slowly while conversations disappear. Someone laughing in the distance for a second, then it's clear. Every ordinary scene feels softer than before. Like I've walked the same way 100 times or more. People heading somewhere while I stay a little behind. Not because I'm lost, but because I finally don't mind. Little pieces of the evening drifting gently through the air. Nothing special happening, but somehow I still care. Some days don't need a reason to stay inside your head. Sometimes quiet little moments say enough instead. Nothing to hurry, nothing to rush. Every little moment feels quite enough. Nothing to hurry, let the hours move. Like the air gets lighter every time I do. Nothing to hurry, nothing left to prove.
Got home later than usual and left the lights off for a while. Sat without turning anything on, just listening to outside. Someone closing car doors somewhere farther down the street. Little sounds at the end of the day always feel different to me. Didn't think about tomorrow, didn't check what time it was. Just let the room stay quiet without trying to fill it up. Every ordinary feeling seemed easier somehow. Like the day stopped asking questions the second I slowed down. Maybe not every moment needs a meaning behind it. Later than usual, everything feels calm. Nothing really changed, still something feels soft. Later than usual, let the evening move. Sometimes doing nothing feels better than you think it should. Nothing left to figure out, nothing left to force. Just letting small moments pass through slowly. Someone laughing in the hallway for a second, then it's gone. TV sounds from another room, blending with the air conditioner. Every little passing noise slowly fades into the night. Not lonely, not exciting, just quiet in a good way. Didn't realize how tiring always rushing had become. Maybe slowing down a little feels closer to myself. Some days stay longer, not because they mattered more, but because they move slowly enough to actually notice them. Later than usual, everything feels calm. Nothing really changed, still something feels soft. Later than usual, let the evening move. Sometimes do
and kept walking for a while. Didn't feel like getting somewhere fast this time. People talking on the corner while the evening air moved in. Everything around me felt quieter than it's been. Someone dropped their keys nearby and left before they picked them up. Little things like that somehow feel enough. Didn't think about tomorrow, didn't look too far ahead. Just followed where the street went without much inside my head. Maybe days don't have to mean more than what they are. Not in a rush, not trying too hard, letting every passing moment stay the way it wants. Not in a rush, nothing left to chase. Sometimes slowing down a little changes everything. Not in a rush, just walking through the day, like the world gets softer when you stop pulling it along. Store lights flickering softly while the sky kept turning gray. Someone pulling down the shutters at the end of another day. Every little ordinary scene blending into one, like a song that keeps on going quietly after it's done. Didn't realize how long I've been moving automatically. Maybe taking time like this is something I actually need. Some moments disappear fast, others stay without a reason. Not in a rush, not trying too hard, letting every passing moment stay the way it wants. Not in a rush, nothing left to chase. Sometimes slowing down a little changes everything.
Halfway through the day, and I already lost track of time. People moving past each other underneath the faded signs. Someone talking on the phone while waiting for the light to change. Every little ordinary thing feels different when you wait. Didn't plan on staying out, just kept walking for a bit, listening to distant sounds mixed together with the wind. Every passing conversation comes and disappears again, like the day keeps slowly moving without asking where I've been. Maybe I don't need to know what comes after this. Halfway through the day, everything feels lighter now. Nothing really happens, still I like the way it sounds. Halfway through the day, let the hours fade. Every little moment feels easier to take. Halfway through the day, nothing left to force, like the world keeps turning without asking anymore. Someone stacking chairs nearby while music plays from down the hall. People laughing for a second, then it disappears again. Clouds moving over building, slowly changing all the light. Everything feels quieter the longer that I walk. Didn't notice how much noise I've been carrying around until the day became this slow and finally settled down. Some days don't stand out until you look back later. Halfway through the day, everything feels lighter now. Nothing really happens, still I like the way it sounds. Halfway through the day, let the hours fade.
Not Nothing special happened, but the day still felt alright. Someone pulled their chair back slowly while the sky turned a little white. People standing near the crosswalk waiting for the light to change. Every little ordinary scene somehow didn't feel the same. Walked around without a reason, took the longer way instead. Didn't think about tomorrow for a couple hours at least. Every passing sound around me came and disappeared again, like the city moving softly without asking where I've been. Maybe days don't have to mean something more than this. Nothing special happened, still I like the day somehow. Nothing big to talk about, nothing loud or dramatic now. Nothing special happened, still it stayed with me, like the kind of quiet feeling you don't notice instantly. Nothing special happened, but I didn't mind at all. Sometimes simple moments feel the warmest after all. Someone folded up a jacket by the table near the door. Music playing low enough to almost disappear into the room. Cars moving in the distance, mixing softly with the air. Everything around me felt slower than usual there. Didn't realize how often I keep rushing through the day until I stopped for long enough to let the feeling stay. Some days don't stand out until they quietly return later. Nothing special happened, still I like the day somehow. Nothing big to talk about, nothing loud or dramatic now. Nothing special happened, still it stayed with me.
Took a little longer getting ready than I usually would. Left without checking messages, and honestly it felt good. Someone sweeping near the sidewalk while the stores began to close. Everything kept moving slowly in a way nobody noticed. Walked past all the usual places without really thinking much. Every little passing sound felt softer than it does. Didn't need a destination, didn't need to make a plan. Just let the evening happen without trying to understand. Maybe slowing down a little changes how the day feels. A little slower, a little less noise. Every ordinary moment feels easier to enjoy. A little slower, nothing left to prove. Like the day keeps moving gently without asking me to move. A little slower, that's enough for now. Sometimes quiet ways of living feel the best somehow. Someone closing up a window somewhere on the second floor. Music drifting through the street, then disappearing once more. Cars reflecting faded colors underneath the turning signs. Everything around me looks softer in the evening light. Didn't realize how often I keep filling empty space until I stop long enough to let the silence stay. Some feelings don't arrive loudly, they just settle in slowly. A little slower, a little less noise. Every ordinary moment feels easier to enjoy. A little slower,
the same street as always, but it felt a little different now. Someone rearranged the tables by the place that's always crowded out. Nothing really stood out much. Still, I noticed little things like the sound of passing footsteps mixing softly with the wind. Didn't have a reason to stay outside this long. Still, I kept on walking slowly after all the lights came on. Every ordinary moment felt quieter than before, like the day was ending gently without asking anymore. Maybe every passing day changes in its own small way. Same street, different day, still the feeling slowly changes. Little moments come and go before anybody notices. Same street, different day, nothing really looks new. Still somehow the air feels different every time I walk through. Same street, different day, let the evening move. Sometimes all I really need is a little quieter view. Some turning off the sign above the store across the road. People folding up umbrellas after waiting out the cold. Every little scene around me drifting slowly into night. Not dramatic, not exciting, just calm in a way I like. Didn't realize how often I keep rushing through the hours until I stop long enough to notice simple things around. Some feelings stay quietly without needing a reason. Same street, different day, still the feeling slowly changes. Little moments come and go before anybody notices. Same street, different day. Nothing really looks new.
Didn't notice how the sky had changed until the air got colder. People started heading home a little faster than before. Someone stacking empty chairs outside the place across the road. Everything around me felt quieter somehow. Walked without a destination, hands inside my coat, listening to passing sounds, blending softly one by one. Every ordinary moment seemed easier to keep when nobody was asking anything from me. Maybe slowing down like this is enough sometimes. Before it gets late, let the evening stay this way. Nothing waiting up ahead, nothing I need to explain. Before it gets late, let the hours move slowly. Every passing little sound feels softer around me. Before it gets late, everything feels calm, like the day is finally settling without trying too hard. Someone crossing through the street while talking quietly on the phone. Music from a distant building disappearing as I walk. Every little light around me turning warmer than before. Not because anything changed, just because I noticed more. Didn't realize how often I move without slowing down, until days like this remind me what I've been missing out. Some moments don't ask for attention, they just stay a little longer. Before it gets late, let the evening stay this way. Nothing waiting up ahead.
Stayed a few minutes longer than I meant to after finishing my drink. People moving out the door while I was still lost in thought. Someone folded up a jacket and placed it on the empty chair. Little things like that somehow stay with me longer than expected. Didn't feel like heading back just yet, so I kept sitting quietly, listening to the room settle down. Every passing conversation came and disappeared again, like the day was slowly ending without making a sound. Maybe I don't need to hurry every second into place. A few minutes more, that's all I wanted, just enough to let the day slow down on its own. A few minutes more before everything moves on. Every little passing sound feels softer in the dark. A few minutes more, nothing else to do. Sometimes quiet moments feel better than the loud ones do. Someone turning pages slowly near the back side of the room. Music low enough to almost disappear into the air. Outside, people passed each other without saying very much. Everything around me felt calm enough to stay a little longer. Didn't realize how often I leave before I need to. Maybe days become clearer when you let them linger more. Some feelings don't arrive quickly, they settle in little by little. A few minutes more, that's all I wanted, just enough to let the day slow down on its own. A few minutes more before everything moves on.
Nothing changed much since yesterday, but the air felt different somehow. People standing near the station, talking softly to themselves. Someone fixing up a sign outside before the lights came on. Every little ordinary thing kept quietly moving forward. Walked a little farther than I planned without a reason why. Didn't really feel like going back inside. Every passing sound around me came and faded out again, like the evening settling slowly over everything. Maybe days don't need to stand out to stay with you a while. Nothing changed much, still the feeling stayed. Every little moment moved a slower pace. Nothing changed much, still I like the day. Like the world was trying less to pull me somewhere else. Nothing changed much, nothing loud at all. Still somehow the quiet parts were enough to fill the room. Someone closing up a notebook near the table by the wall. Music low enough to blend into the sound of people talking. Outside, buses pass slowly underneath the fading signs. Everything around me felt softer with the passing time. Didn't realize how much I needed days like this, the kind that don't demand anything and simply let you exist. Some moments don't become important until long after they're gone. Nothing changed much, still the feeling stayed. Every little moment moved a slower pace. Nothing changed much, still I like the day.
Left the window open for a little longer good. Someone talking down the street, then fading into passing cars. Little sounds at night always seem closer than they are. Didn't turn the lights on yet, just sat there for a while, watching shadows move slowly across the other side. Every ordinary second felt quieter than before, like the day had finally stopped knocking at the door. Maybe I don't need to fill every silent space. Left the window open, let the evening in. Nothing really happened, still I liked how it felt. Left the window open, watched the hours pass. Every little sound outside moved slowly through the dark. Someone walking past outside while dragging footsteps through the rain. Music from another building drifting softly down again. Every little light around me looked warmer from a distance. Everything felt easier without trying to explain it. Didn't realize how often I rushed through days too fast, until moments like this make me slow down at last. Some nights stay with you quietly, without needing a reason. Left the window open, let the evening in. Nothing really happened, still I liked how it felt. Left the window open, watched the hours pass. Didn't mind staying longer even after everyone had gone. Someone wiping down the tables while the quiet carried on. Outside buses passing slowly underneath the fading suns. Everything felt softer when there wasn't much around. Didn't check the time once, didn't feel the need. Just listen to the little sounds blending quietly. Every ordinary feeling stayed a little more, like the night was settling gently across the floor. Maybe slowing down like this is easier than I thought. Didn't mind staying, didn't mind the quiet. Nothing really happening, still I wanted more of it. Didn't mind staying, let the hours move. Every little passing sound felt softer in the room. Didn't mind staying, nothing left to do. Sometimes simple evenings feel the best without trying to. Someone pulling on a jacket near the doorway by the hall. Music fading in and out while people finished up their talks. Streetlights shining on the pavement after all the stores had closed. Everything around me looked calmer than before. Didn't realize how often I rushed to fill the space, until evenings like this one slow everything in place. Some moments don't ask for attention, they just quietly remain. Didn't mind staying, didn't mind the quiet. Nothing really happening, still I wanted more of it. Didn't mind staying, let the hours move.
On days like this, I don't really feel like heading anywhere. People moving past each other while the evening fills the air. Someone talking quietly outside the store. A across the street. Little sounds and passing moments somehow feel enough to keep. Didn't think about tomorrow, didn't rush to fill the time. Just kept walking a little slower with nothing much on my mind. Every ordinary feeling stayed longer than before, like the day was trying gently to become something more. Maybe quiet days like this matter in their own way. On days like this, everything feels lighter somehow. Nothing really changes, still I like the way it sounds. On days like this, I don't need too much. Every little passing moment feels quite enough. On days like this, nothing left to chase. Sometimes slowing down a little changes how the whole day feels. Someone turning off the lights near the building down the block. Music drifting through the air then fading out again. Cars reflecting on the pavement after people start heading home. Everything around me moving softly on its own. Didn't realize how often I keep moving automatically, until days like this remind me how calm simple things can be. Some moments stay quietly without asking to be noticed. On days like this, everything feels lighter somehow. Nothing really changes, still I like the way it sounds.
Took the long way home without really thinking much about it. People sitting by the corner, talking quietly outside. Someone pulling down the blinds while music drifted through the air. Everything around me felt slower than usual there. Didn't look at notifications, didn't check what time it was. Just kept walking at my own pace without needing any rush. Every little passing moment stayed longer than before, like the night was settling softly across the empty road. Maybe days feel better when you stop trying too hard. Take the long way, let the evening move slowly. Nothing waiting up ahead that can't wait another hour. Take the long way, listen to the little sounds. Every ordinary moment feels softer somehow. Take the long way, nothing left to prove. Sometimes getting nowhere fast feels better than you think it should. Someone laughing from a distance disappeared into the wind. Streetlights turning on one by one beside the passing cars. Every little scene around me blending quietly together, like the day was trying gently not to end too fast. Didn't realize how often I move without slowing down, until nights like this remind me to stay a little longer now. Some moments don't become important until long after they pass. Take the long way, let the evening move slowly. Nothing waiting up ahead that can't wait another hour.
Stayed out a little longer than I meant to after everything got quiet. People heading home in pairs while conversations faded out. Someone stacking chairs nearby without saying very much. Little sounds at closing time always seem to stay with me. Didn't feel like going back just yet, so I kept walking slowly past the same familiar places. Every ordinary window glowing softly in the dark made the whole street feel calmer than it usually does. Maybe nights don't need a reason to feel good. distant sounds. Every little passing moment felt softer somehow. Stayed out a little longer without thinking too much. Sometimes quiet nights are already enough. Someone waiting near the crossing while the last few buses passed. Music leaking through a doorway, then disappearing into traffic. Every little movement seems slower than before, like the night was trying gently to hold on to the air. Didn't realize how often I rush through empty hours, until evenings like this one make me slow everything down. Some nights stay with you quietly, long after they're gone. Stay out a little longer, let the evening pass slowly. Nothing really calling me, nothing I need to hurry for. After the rush, everything feels quieter than before. People speaking softer while they head out through the door. Someone putting on a coat near the table by the wall. Little sounds at the end of the day always feel small. Didn't check the time again, didn't think too far ahead. Just stayed where I was sitting, listening instead. Every ordinary moment seems slower than before, like the evening settled gently across the floor. Maybe nothing really changes except the way we feel it. After the rush, everything moves slowly. Nothing left to figure out, nothing pulling on me. After the rush, let the hours pass. Every little passing sound feels softer at last. After the rush, nothing more to chase. Sometimes quiet endings are enough to save the day. Someone laughing near the doorway disappeared into the night. Streetlights reflecting softly on the windows down the block. Every little movement blending quietly together, like the world was finally learning how to slow itself down. Didn't realize how much I needed space like this, the kind of night that doesn't ask for anything at all. Some evenings stay with you without trying to. After the rush, everything moves slowly. Nothing left to figure out, nothing pulling on me. Maybe tomorrow can wait a little longer than I thought it had to. People slowly disappearing while the last few lights stay on. Someone sweeping near the doorway after almost everyone left. Little sounds at the end of the night always stay with me the most. Didn't feel like rushing home, didn't feel behind. Just kept listening quietly to the city settling down. Every ordinary moment seemed softer than before, like the night was finally asking nothing from me anymore. Maybe slowing down like this is enough sometimes. Maybe tomorrow can wait just a little longer. Nothing really calling me, nothing pulling harder. Maybe tomorrow can wait by the shop across the street. Music drifting through an open door before it disappeared. Every little movement blending softly with the air, like the whole night moving slower without trying to be noticed. Didn't realize how often I moved too fast through days, until moments like this one make everything feel lighter. Some nights don't become important until much later on. Maybe tomorrow can wait just a little longer. Nothing really calling me, nothing pulling harder. Maybe tomorrow can wait, let the evening stay.
Two, three. Lights across the street, turning on one after another. People talking quietly before they disappear inside. Someone standing by the doorway, checking pockets for their keys. Little scenes like these somehow stay longer with me. Didn't feel like heading back right away, so I stayed outside a little longer, letting time pass slowly. Lights across the street, everything feels softer now. Nothing really changed, still the air feels different somehow. Lights across the street, let the evening move. Every little passing sound feels quieter than usual.
Not much to say about today, but somehow it still felt nice. People walking home together underneath the fading lights. Someone laughing from a distance disappeared into the air. Everything around me felt calm enough to stay there. Didn't think too far ahead, didn't try to fill the silence. Just listen to the evening move around me slowly. Not much to say, still I liked the day. Nothing big happened, still it stayed with me. Not much to say, everything felt calm. Sometimes quiet moments are enough on their own.
Before heading home, I stayed outside a little longer than I planned. Cars moving slowly through the street while people disappeared again. Someone pulling down the blinds somewhere across the road. Everything around me felt slower than before. Didn't really need to hurry, didn't feel behind. Just wanted one more quiet moment before the night moved on. Before heading home, everything felt light. Nothing really on my mind, nothing left to organize. Before heading home, let the evening stay. Every little passing sound felt softer this way.